Hi friends, today we are here for discussing one of the most applicant platform which is given by the Microsoft company to us, that is .NET technology. Friends, what is the .NET? What .NET technology contains? What are the advantages by using this .NET technology? I think in this today's era, if you observe the various kinds of platforms available for us in our career, just to develop the career in software industry, mainly the web technology is one of the good one, because there is a tremendous change in the market. If we observe, now the customers are mainly focused on e-commerce. What is e-commerce? E-commerce is nothing but the business which is to be done by using the internet technology. Now users or customers are mainly attracted toward the online transactions. Online business is to be going on. There are so many advantages by this e-commerce or online transactions or online business. But our part is to develop such a tools which is applicable to our customer, which is applicable to the organization, to improve their business, to make some strategy, business strategy, which will face this today's market. Because in this today's market, everybody have a good challenge now. Every organization face the different kinds of challenges. There is a big rush in the market to develop the different kinds of tool. That's why the customer will attract to our organization to purchase our product. Now there is one more concept which is introduced, which is called as e-market. So what about the e-market? E-market is nothing but the electronic market. It means by using electronic market, the customer will easily find out the product. E-market is not the physical market. It is simple one. It is a simple website where information about every product is available. Information about the product and their details is also available, and anybody can purchase it immediately by paying the amount online, of course. Or there may be a various kinds of tools are also given, like COD we say that. It means that to develop such types of tools is a good opportunity to you people, or in software industry there is a good platform to develop such types of websites by using such types of various tools. And to develop such types of websites, the Microsoft company, I think, give the one of the good platform to programmer, that is Microsoft .NET framework. In simple we say that .NET technology. So this part is included in your syllabi. Why it is? Because this one of the good platform is now available for the software industry, and you have to take the advantages of this technology, and you should start your career with this. Let us see what is the .NET technology. Before discussing this .NET technology, there is a need to think about the .NET framework. The total programming idea is to be changed now. Look this picture. This is the .NET Enterprise Vision. What is the objective, what is the vision of the Microsoft company to develop this tool? If you look now, the internet is a part of a human life. Internet is a part of every organization. Internet is a part of the business now. Various platforms we can use, like we may use the computers, laptops, or we may use mobiles or fax machines, various kinds of tools we can use it, and these tools, through these tools we can communicate to our different organizations by the internet technology. It means that now today internet is reached everywhere. Everywhere the internet is available now. And we can use this internet technology for various purposes. It means now users want a device, user want to connect to the business by using internet technology. In short, it's called as anytime, any place, any device. So it means, if you observe this diagram, there are three layers are there. The first one is the back office. At the back office, there may be there the supply, sales department, marketing department. Also there is an accountancy. There may be a finance department. And they are mainly focused on customer. They mainly focus on market. How to launch our product with a higher productivity and give the different kinds of services to a customer. It means they are interested to give those various kinds of services to their customer. They will mainly focus on not only productivity of the product, but also they also mainly focus on which kinds of services they will give to their customer. Also, they develop, they design the ERP and the billing system. So that's why the sales department will sell out the product, and the customer will pay the bill after purchasing the product directly by using the internet technology. That means at the back office, the different kinds of infrastructure is available now in industry with the internet technology. And they are using some managemental concepts, managemental principles like scheduling, authentication, notification, so and so. And by using these managemental principles, they develop their own software, they develop their own ERP, they develop their own MIS system. And by using internet system, now this internet technology integrate the business now. The internet technology integrate these all the applications by some standard process. Now you think about this, when we purchase any material through the e-commerce, through the e-market, you think about it, how many agencies are participated in the business. Simply I will give the one of the example. Like we purchase the product by using any website, any e-market, like suppose Amazon.com or Snapdeal.com is the best example for us. Now when we purchase the product, before purchasing, we just want it on the e-market. We will view, we will find out which products are more beneficial for us by our budget. So this Amazon.com have their own e-market. It doesn't mean Amazon company manufactures all the product. No. Those who want to sell out their product, like Samsung company or Nokia company, this company communicate with the Amazon company and they launch their product in the e-market. They give you the different kinds of details and all these things. It is the different one. But now when we want to purchase the product, when we open the Amazon.com, Amazon company will again give the details. It is a part of business policy. Suppose we finalize one product, we want to purchase one mobile phone. Now when we want to pay the bill, we use a suppose debit card or ATM card. At that time our ATM card is from suppose one of the bank, suppose Bank of India or Bank of Maharashtra. It means Bank of India is also one of the part of our business. We are also a customer part of our business. Amazon company is also part of the business. We don't know when we pay the bill where the amount is deposited. Maybe the amount is deposited in Amazon company. Now Amazon company have account in suppose XYZ bank. Now Amazon company immediately contact with suppose Samsung company. Samsung company have again account in suppose ABC bank. So we deposit the money, we pay the bill for the Amazon company's account. Amazon company pay it for the Samsung company's account. You think over it, how many agencies are participated. Then Amazon company could not collect the product. No. Amazon company immediately communicate to the XYZ, that is Samsung company. Samsung company send the product to us through a courier system again. So courier system is again one of the part of our business. Courier system have again some account in suppose ABCD bank. So Samsung company or Amazon company part of the deal, they will also pay some charges as a courier to them, and then the product is transferred through the courier system to our city. Now when office boy come, that is where we will just make the signature and we collect the product. Now you try to imagine how many agencies are participated in this business. So many agencies are there. And to give the all the such kinds of services, for example, after when we collect our product, at that time the concerned office boy will take the signature, courier boy will take our signature, this signature will validate first. So immediately office boy will send the message to the courier company send it to the concerned Amazon company, and immediately we got the message, have you got the product, are you satisfied or not, like this way. So it is a part of that is the message convincing, we say that. So such type of tools are necessary for us. Also when we pay the bill, we got immediate message, invoice of the concerned product, invoice number, order number, so and so. Up to the collecting the product, daily we will got the message, what about our order status. So these are also one of the part of our business, part of our strategy. It means that in this today's era, by using internet technology, I think the business is to be highly in picture. They want to take the higher advantage of the internet technology and give the better services to our customer. So here in this diagram you picturize that, you try to imagine that what about the real use of internet technology. Second, what are the tremendous changes by the strategy in the business in every organization. Every organization have list of departments are there. Not only just on for sale purpose. Every time that is purchase department, marketing department, assembly department, they communicate by their every user, every customer by using this internet technology. Then our part is how to develop such kinds of tools which is applicant to our customer for their growth of our business, growth of their business, and that's why there is need to think about it. So this .tech technology have the vision, that is enterprise vision. Enterprise means what about? The number of elements are there. What is enterprise? Every organization is an enterprise. And different activities are integrated together. Different departments are integrated together. Different peoples are integrated together. Different organizations are also integrated together. Different instruments are integrated together. Different parts are integrated together, which is a part of our business. Different agencies are integrated together. but having some common vision. So here vision of this business is to improve the business strategy, to improve the sales, to improve the customer services, to improve the whatever the transactions are to be going on by the proper in way, and they mainly focus on quality. So that's why there is need to think about the Microsoft company's vision and how to develop the different kinds of websites or other such tools which is applicant to our customer. Now before starting this .NET technology, I think what is .NET, we need to discuss about it. What is the vision of this .NET technology? Why the .NET is important in this today's era? The main vision for this .NET technology is, now here they think about the websites and web services. To develop the website is easy, I think, but which types of services you want to pay to your customer is now important for us. Which types of services you will develop to your for your websites, for customers, for organizers, or anyone, which is called as end users. So main vision for this .NET technology is to integrate the websites and the web services. Any devices will join the PC now. By this, any device we can join, and to develop a user interface which is more adaptable for the customer. It is called as customizable adaptability. Customizable adaptability means our website should be easy for the user. Our website should be good for the attraction, good for the interface, good for the giving by the different services to our customer. And one of the most important feature by this .NET technology, it enables by the web standard. That means to develop our website with a well standard by the concerned organization, not only by the standard only, but to pay the different kinds of services to our end user, to develop the website which will attract to our customer, and it will impact that our business will be improved. And that's why there is a need to think this is the vision for our website. So here try to keep it in mind, we will develop the website by different types of web services. So which types of web services we will pay to our customer is an important. So how to use the .NET technology to develop the website with a good web standard. Now there is a need to think about the .NET framework. When the .NET framework was started in nearby 2000, new platforms are created by this .NET technology by the Microsoft organization, and to develop the various kinds of applications, that is the web application to our user, to our customer. It is the new platform for us, of course. So what this platform give to us, what are the main objective for this new platform, why to use it? If we think about the era nearby 2000, at that time only few kinds of languages was in use. Few kinds of languages. Like we were used HTML language, we use CSS, cascaded style sheet for that time, JavaScript, PHP. But these languages are not integrated properly together. HTML have their own platform, JavaScript is the different one, PHP server is a different one, CSS is also one of the supplementary for the HTML language, like this way. But this Microsoft company just tried to find out why not to integrate all this technology, and that's why which is very easy for the portability. And I think that's why the .NET technology, just to develop this, one of the framework which is very superior for the web development. So it is a platform for application developers. We can develop the various websites. Now this platform supports multiple languages and cross languages integration. I think this is the most important advantage by this. In .NET technology, the various types of cross platforms are available. We may use the different kinds of languages. We may use the VB.NET, ASP.NET, or JVM, so many things. XML also. It is the one of the characteristics of the .NET technology. And all these environments are well integrated together. Just I am talking. That is, it has IDE. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. We'll discuss in detail later on, but you think about this, you may develop the website by using VB.NET or ASP.NET or anyone, or C# .NET also. But all the environments are well integrated together. One more advance and advantages by this .NET framework, it provides the GUI in advanced GUI manner, graphical user interface. If you observe the previous methods or previous technique, to develop a single web page, there is a need to write the source code in HTML language, and when we type the code, it is a code oriented. Our content may be very low, but your code is very high. And then to check the output, to confirm the output, if it is good one, then if you want to modify, again do some changes in the code. It is a time consuming. While here what happens? Here we develop our web page by using designing tools, and if you look the code is ready for the concerned design. There is no need to enter the code. That means it is vice versa I am talking. That is, programming role is very less now. You have to use higher intelligent logic and then try to develop the website. That's it. So GUI designing is so simple and very attractive manner in this .NET technology. One of the most important by this .NET design vision is .NET platform independent, but by using or by the help of mono compilation system, which is called as MCS. Mono compilation system is nothing but you have to compile the concerned code, but the code which is under this CLR is managed code. More code is managed, unmanaged code. Managed means only the code which is written by the programmer, while the ready-made solution is given to you directly. Ready-made tools is given to you directly, and that's why the compilation time is very less. The .NET provides one more, that is interoperability between languages. Interoperability languages is to be by taking the support of this called as CTS, common type system. You may use any kind of language. You may use C# or VB.NET or anyone, but finally after compilation, when it will go for the execution, it will execute by the CLR commonly. So .NET framework having common language runtime, which is called as CLR, which is responsible for maintaining the execution of all the applications. So CLR will execute the job. When you write any language, to program by using any language, it will compile by the system, concerned compiler. Once after compilation, the code is transferred toward the CLR. And that's why CLR are the application development tool having good library .NET support. So .NET having their own library, it is a very rich library, and that's why so many tools, ready-made tools are available with CLR. The .NET framework consists of mainly the primary of unique library of code. That means so many tools are there, that's why I am talking. so many library codes are ready, you have to just use it. Now, so these are the few highlights of this .NET technology. So what is exactly .NET? We discuss one by one. So what is the definition says? A programming infrastructure is created by the Microsoft for building, deploying and running applications and services that uses .NET technology such as desktop applications and web services. So whatever the part we discuss, all these are included in this definition. Every program should require some infrastructure, and it is the programming infrastructure I am talking. The .NET is a programming infrastructure. Just like we say that always our software is the part of engineering, and engineering is nothing but discipline. And when any engineer want to construct the output, construct any product, at that time every engineer will mainly focus on infrastructure. Same point of view, same by the vision, software engineer also mainly focus on the infrastructure. There is the designing of the program, designing out the output, designing out the input screen, then how to write the source code for this. After writing the source code, which types of output will be there, then need to test this output and input and to find out the quality of the output. If it is good one, then show to the customer. If the customer is satisfied, then hand over the concern, which is called as deployment. It means that Microsoft company give the programming infrastructure to you for building a various kinds of infrastructure, that is the software infrastructure which is required by your customer. That's why the customer will satisfy to run the concern different kinds of tools and to pay the services to your user by using the advanced .NET technology, and to deploy it properly, to deploy the system, not only just to develop but to deploy it by the integrated manner, and that's why your customer will be highly satisfied. Customer will be highly satisfied and by their web services which is developed in .NET technology by the programmer. So this is the just idea which is given by the .NET technology, the definition. Here we mention one more thing, that is .NET technology is mainly supported cross-language integration. What about the cross-language integration? So it means we can use the different kinds of utility of the languages in various languages, not only the single one. The .NET framework will include number of languages. There is no restrictions which types of language you want to use, and it is possible over here. If we want to develop the application, basically the .NET framework allows two types of applications: window-based application and web-based application. And also we can develop the different kinds of services like web services or maybe a Windows services. So you may use the different kinds of languages for this. The .NET frameworks are designed by such a way that we can use number of languages by including like C#, C++, Visual Basic, JavaScript, and even also older languages like COBOL, Pascal. It means all these languages we can use. If you are master in any one, you may develop it, but if you have a good knowledge with the Visual Basic and suppose C# and suppose JavaScript, you have to develop the different components and integrate it very well. .NET technology will integrate all such kinds of languages very simple in manner. So that's why now the programmer's job is too much easy. Now we will think about the .NET framework. We will discuss the overview of this .NET technology, because already we discussed the .NET framework is one of the biggest technology which is developed by the Microsoft company, which supports building and running the Windows application as well as web services, different websites we can develop it. Now this .NET framework is designed by some objectives, by some visions. When they have started the Microsoft company, they have some vision already. We discussed few of them. We will again discuss what are the basic objectives of this .NET framework. See, the number one, to build a communication, that is all communications on industry standard, to ensure that code based on .NET framework integrate with any other codes. I think it is a good one. Whatever the communication channels required for the business industry, having some industrial standard, and we ensure to them by our code, through our code, the .NET framework will integrate all these web services with each other. That means, for example, I repeat the same example, when we want to purchase the product by the Amazon, when we pay the bill, at that time we could not have the idea which technology is used by our bank, which technology is used by this Amazon or other industries like Samsung or all these. But these all industries have their own standard. Bank have their own standard, rules, regulations for the bank regarding our debit credit card, rules, regulations by the Amazon company regarding e-commerce, rules, regulations by the Samsung company regarding their inventory system and billings, rules, regulations by the courier system, by their courier vision. So all these standards are integrated very well by this .NET framework. So that's why I think it is a good objective by this .NET technology, that is integrity. One more, it will provide a consistent object-oriented programming environment. Well, object code is stored and executed locally, but web distributed and executed remotely also. That means they will mainly focus on consistency of our object, because the .NET technology is totally object oriented. And when we think about the object oriented technology, every object is the independent. And in object oriented technology, whatever the environment required, just to store the concerned object, to store the concerned program. If we think about the object, every object has some environment. And if we think about the environment, there is an privacy. So just to store the concerned object with the concerned environment and execute it locally whenever required, give the concerned service by the web for that moment, and execute remotely also. So the total control, total integrity, total safety is to be given by the .NET technology. One more thing, I think it is too much applicant also. At the time of the deployment, that is when we deploy the product, there is necessary to avoid the complexity. So whatever be the environment required for the software infrastructure, to provide to them not only the code, but to provide a code execution environment that minimize the software deployment and versioning conflicts. Before the .NET technology, so many problems were faced by the programmers. After completion of the software, when our software is ready to deploy, and when we hand over to the concerned party or to a customer, there is a need to upload all these to their machine. So when we develop it at that time, whatever the environment in our PC, our software mechanism, our technology may be not available by the customer, and so many problems, so many complications are there. and we face it very well. But now I think we are very happy because of this .NET framework, because whenever we use the whatever the framework as it is, we can deploy it to our customer. One more, I think, objective by this .NET technology is the code execution environment and the safety. When we execute the code, whatever the environment required, the .NET will provide very well, and it will promote safe execution of the code. That is, if you think about the code, maybe third party will be crash it, but now here is an safety. The third party will not interfere in our code. Third party will not crack our code, and that's why there is a higher safety, and it is a part of our business. I think it is a good sign. It provides code execution environment that eliminate the performance problems of scripted or interpreted environment. It means when we execute our website, third party have no chance, minimal chance to make the interference, to crack our code, to make the virus. There will be very, very less chance, because the Microsoft company have such a support given to our code, our environment, and that's why we are totally free to develop the software. And because of this safety, I think our problems are very minimized manner, and that's why the online transactions are very frankly and very simple in manner. So when we think about the transactions, that is when we want to deposit the concerned amount, pay the concerned amount, we use the ATM or debit card. So which precautions they have been taken? They will send the OTP, bank will also send the OTP, so and so. Everybody have their own transactions security levels. One more thing they want to say, that is that to make the developer experience consistent across widely varying the types of apps such as Windows-based or applications and web-based applications. I think it is too easy to every users. Now we are very prompt now to deposit the money, to online recharge system is one of the example, online billing. We are very prompt because now the .NET technology give the various kinds of services to the people. So this is again one of the objective for the .NET. Okay, now we will go for the next regarding the programming manner. So this is up to this we will discuss on what is the .NET, what is the vision by this .NET technology, what are the advantages by using the .NET framework, what are the objective of the .NET framework. As a programmatic point of view, I am talking as a software programmer. Basically there are two platforms for us. So there are two types of softwares. Number one is the system software and second one is application software. Mainly the people are interact or show the interest for the application softwares. And application software have the number of platforms. Somebody want to develop for the generic purpose software, somebody want to specific purpose of the software like billing or inventory control system, attendance software. Somebody want to develop their own softwares like Microsoft Excel, image editor, word processor, so and so. By system software, you know very well, compiler, interpreter, browser, operating system, so and so. Now here in .NET technology, we will mainly focus on application software. And in application software, the programmer have a good platform to develop various kinds of window-based application and web-based application by the different web services. Now we are getting one of the good platform to us. Now what about the platform for us? We discuss it this part. What about the platform? Friends, again there is need to think about the platforms which we want to use for this .NET technology, because .NET is one of the best platforms for us. If we think about this .NET platform, mainly two types of applications are generated. One that is managed applications, and second one is unmanaged applications. Unmanaged applications are just like the services which we want to give by using internet technology, that is internet information services. Second one, few services which we want to use by the runtime, that is by the ASP.NET server. Some applications are developed which is again unmanageable, because we want to use the web applications. While when we develop a software, at that time the managed applications are mainly focused. That we use the different kinds of class libraries, we create our own objects by the libraries, and we interact with operating systems. Of course, we interact with the hardware which we want to use for our system. So these two platforms are necessary to think over it when we want to develop the platform to our user or to our customer. There is few codes which is in our hand, which we want to use, which we want to manage it, while few codes are ready-made in manner. But all these things we want to integrate together to set a platform. Okay, now we will go to the main part of this. What are the main components of this .NET technology? As earlier we discussed, .NET technology are very rich technology, and this .NET technology supports various kinds of languages. Various kinds of cross languages are there, just like VB, C++, C#, .NET, JavaScript, J#, so and so. More than 3 languages are supported by this .NET technology. Second component, that is called as CLS, that is called as Common Language Specification. And this Common Language Specification, it means you may use any kind of language. After compilation, it will got a common platform. It is called as CLS. And whatever the support required for the concerned language to give to them, because .NET language have a very higher or very rich class library, that is the CLS library. So many class libraries are available. Third one, that is to give the support to this our program, to our software, that is the ASP.NET web services, web forms or Windows forms, so and so. So whatever the tools required, whatever the environment required to develop it, which is also part of this framework. Third one, the ADO.NET, mainly required for the data manipulation and XML, because XML is the main part for this .NET technology. Why it is we discuss later on. But for the database manipulation purpose, ADO.NET plays an important role for this. Base class library, just type of, that is the base class library is the richer library. So whatever the services required for the ADO.NET or ASP.NET or Windows forms or web forms or web services, all these are supported by this base class library. And the main heart of this .NET technology is the CLR. So what is CLR? CLR is the backbone. To execute the programs and to give the services to execute this program is the major role played by this .NET framework, that is through the CLR. If we think about this CLR, then what are the major components of this CLR? Because the .NET is one of the platforms that provide the different kinds of tools and the technologies to develop the web applications or Windows applications, and it maintains or it mainly contains the two types of components. Number one, first and most important component is the CLR. Just already I talked, it is the backbone, or it is the main part of this .NET framework. And second one is the .NET framework class library. So if we think about this .NET technology, mainly it is pronounced as the .NET. It is one of the software, and it is a bunch of the different components that runs on mainly, of course, the Windows operating system. It provides the different kinds of tools and the libraries that eliminates, or that I think enable to a user, that enable to a developer to develop these various kinds of softwares, mainly Windows based softwares, attractive softwares, productive software, which is faster for the performance and easy for the use. The .NET framework must be installed when user's machine to run the .NET applications. So for the .NET applications, .NET framework should be necessary, and .NET framework is mainly work on Windows operating system. These 2 points are not very clear. Now we will think about what about the CLR. What CLR plays a role for this .NET technology. Mainly the .NET framework provides a runtime environment. That means the program is to be executed under the CLR, which is called as Common Language Runtime. And main responsibility of this CLR is to provide the environment to the program for getting the output. So whatever the environment required, support required for the code is to be provided by the CLR. And the code which is under the CLR is called as managed code. The code under the execution of the CLR, which is managed code. And programmers need not require to think about the concerned code, how much memory is required, whether this memory is sufficient for execution or not, like this way. Because all these responsibilities are to be taken by the CLR. So CLR's responsibility to provide that much memory to execute the concerned code, to execute the concerned thread. So that's why one part is to be well taken by the CLR, that is memory management, thread management. Programmatically, when program needs the memory, the CLR allocate the memory to the RAM or any kind of the concerned memory devices. It will find out how much is the scope for this memory, and as per their scope, that means CLR will find out how much is the scope required for the concerned memory for the program, and that much part is to be free. It will free for your program. So it is the responsibility by the CLR. Also, if you think about the cross languages, .NET uses different kinds of languages. So after the compilation, it will convert the code into a MSIL format. MSIL, that is when we write the code in VB.NET or C#.NET, after compilation, code is totally converted into MSIL format, which is called as Microsoft Intermediate Language Code. And later on, CLR will consider this code. CLR will get this code and it will convert into native code. So native code is converted by the CLR. So input for the CLR is MSIL, and then CLR will completely execute this code by the native format. Look, this is simple by the diagram. We use VB.NET or C#.NET or any kind of language. Every language have their compiler, which is a part of the framework also. This .NET, maybe program is written in VB.NET, it will compile. If there is any error, it will fire it after the correction by the concerned compilers. the code is to be converted into MSIL format, mainly in exe file, and then the CLR will consider this code. It will convert this code, that is called a JIT, just in time. JIT compiler is there, which is a part of CLR. JIT compiler's major responsibility to collect the code from the MSIL and convert it into native manner, that is in specifically machine language format, and the output of the CLR is the native code. So native code is in the form of machine language format. So there are currently 15 language compilers being built by the Microsoft and other companies also producing the code that will be executed by the CLR. So you think it more than 15 languages are well known by the .NET framework, and these number of classes or libraries are available in. So that's why I'm talking about the .NET. I say the .NET is very rich for this. The CLR is the simple one. The CLR, what is CLR? Just like in JBMS we say that there is a query engine. My vision about the CLR is the same one. It is also one of the engine. It is called as execution engine. CLR is the execution engine for the .NET application, and whatever the services required to execute the concerned application, to provide to them, and it will well portable with operating system. That's it. So CLR will coordinate, will communicate with our .NET application programs, will interface with our .NET application programs and the operating system, that is mainly Windows, and give the services to our program. So whatever the services required, it will give us. So that's why CLR is the execution engine. So which services are required by our program? Number one, the CLR load and execute the code. Of course, code which is in the form of MSIL format is to be given as input to the CLR, and it is the responsibility of the CLR to load this code for the execution. Immediately this code is to be converted into native machine code. One more thing, whatever the memory space required to execute our native code, make it availability of the memory to execute the process is again a responsibility by the CLR. And CLR not only to make the availability, but there are a number of objects are there. So it will manage the memory and the concerned object. Whenever we call the different library files or concerned object, again CLR take the responsibility to make the communication and coordination among these objects. Also CLR will enforce the code and access security. CLR again mainly focus on security also, whatever the access, whatever the concerned code, because .NET contains number of programs, not only a single web page. When we think about the website, at that time website contains number of web pages. Number of web pages have number of accessibility, number of maybe a database connectivities are there. So all the responsibility by the proper security is to be maintained by the CLR. Also, if you think about the total web project or website, maybe problems occurs, maybe errors occurs. So it will well handled by the CLR. CLR handled by the exceptions. One more thing which is to be well done by the CLR, that is CLR will make the interface between managed code, COM objects and DLL. Now there are two types of codes are there: unmanaged code and managed code. Managed code means the code under the CLR, which is called as managed code. While some ready-made code is there, some unmanaged code is also there. So just to integrate this unmanaged code and managed code at the time of the executions, and to create the DLL file, because it will directly interact with your machine language. Try to understand. It is the responsibility by the CLR also. It provides type checking. Type means data types, type means access types, metadata. All these to be well handled by the .NET CLR. CLR also provides code metadata. That means metadata is nothing but reflection. Metadata is nothing but data about the data. If I say integer, what is meant by integer? This definition is the metadata. If I say XYZ object, what is the description of this XYZ object? It is also metadata. So that's why I say that reflection, it maintains the reflection, it maintains all the definitions, while it provides profiling, debugging, etc. It is the responsibility of the CLR to make the accountability of the program, debug the program when any error occurs, like this way. So if you look this, all these, what are the major services which is well played, which is well given by the .NET technology to us, that is the .NET framework. So this CLR mainly is the backbone for the .NET technology, and CLR plays these services, give these services to us. If we think about the CLR, CLR contains CTS. CTS means common type system. There is a common data type. If we think about the VB.NET, C#.NET, JScript.NET, it contains okay. So to discuss on the second component of this .NET technology framework, that is class library. So what about the class library? This is also called as base class library, and it is common for all type of applications. That means you may use VB.NET or C#.NET or JavaScript.NET, any kind of language. This class library is the common one, and it gives the access to you whatever the classes, methods required for VB.NET or C#.NET or JS.NET, all the languages, whatever the methods and classes required, which is available in this .NET. So that's why the class library, which is called as FCL, is the supportive for the .NET technology. Mainly if we think about the various applications which we develop by using .NET technology, and the classes or support which is required for these .NET technologies are: number one is the Windows application, second one is console application, third one is web application, XML web services and Windows services. To develop the web form, to create the simple console applications, to develop the web application or web form also, to develop the different tools like email and all these things, to provide the XML web services to extract the data from the database, so and so, and few Windows services are also required for this. So all such kinds of tools are a part of the .NET framework and the services which is required. So to support to them, the base class library contains methods and classes. So that's why the .NET class library is major responsibility. The CLS is also a common platform which will integrate and components from the multiple .NET programming languages. already we studied, we know very well, multiple programming language we can use in .NET like VB.NET, C#.NET or Java or C++ also. So these languages plus other kinds of languages, so all supports are to be well integrated given by this third one, that is the base class library. And CLS, common language specification, is its main responsibility. This is what about CLS. You think about the CTS, common type system, all the languages having same data types, which is called as CTS. You may use C#, VB, every language have its own logic, own standard, own environment. While all these environments are well integrated, well portable with each other, and it will form a set at the center CLS, which is called as common language specification. It means all the languages having common data types, common type system. But every language is the independent. C# syntax is different, VB.NET have the different like this way. But all these are well integrated with each other, and it form a common platform, that is common language specification. So this is just a framework of this class library. It contains system.web, system.winform, system.xml, system.data or system. So list of classes are there by their own module. You think when we develop the Windows form, when we develop web form, when we use the ADO.NET is the best example for us. When we use the XML, system.xml file we can extract. System.data is required for the database management system. System.winforms are essential for the Windows application. System.webs are needful for the web application. And when we use the security and all these things, the main base, that is the system files. So this is the framework of class library. So Visual Studio required for this, which is a main part for this Microsoft tool, because it interacts with Windows operating system, and Visual Studio provides integrated development environment, IDE we discussed, and to give the different kinds of Windows application, interactive websites, to develop the web applications, web services, the support is given by the Visual Studio.NET. To configure the files, to deploy the files, to manage the files, securities and all these things, all the components are well integrated by the Visual Studio. So this is the end of this small discussion. We will stop here. Thank you.